What was Disney's highest grossing film from 1950 to 1959? Hey homies, welcome back, or welcome if you're new here. My name is Haley. I run the Always in Wonderland blog at alwaysinwonderland.com, and today we're doing Disney movies through the decades part 2. We're going to be talking from 1950 to 1959, and at the end we're going to reveal who is the highest grossing movie award winner between those years in this decade. As always, housekeeping rules, squeaky chair, Will is crazy, my ADHD will kick in. Not formally diagnosed, but slightly diagnosed. When your primary care doctor says it like in conversation with you, I feel like that's confirmation. So we're gonna jump in today and get through these movies. A lot of these I have heard of, but a lot of these I also haven't heard of. So let me know, per usual, in the comments, if I haven't heard of these movies and you have heard of them. Are they good? Should I try to seek them out? How old were you when you watched it? Like, give me all the fun details. I'm going to take a little sip. Sorry. Got myself a Cherry Coke Zero today. I never drink caffeine, so I am wired. You know what I mean? We're sipping it slow. I'm just kidding. Not that small little amount of caffeine doesn't really get me, but I do drink my coffee and decaf. It tastes the same. Don't tell me it tastes different because I know it doesn't, okay? It tastes the same, and I love coffee to death. But that caffeine make me jittery. So, anyway, let's get into it, shall we? In 1950, Disney released Cinderella. Cinderella, Cinderella, Cinderella. You're welcome for that serenade. I do like Cinderella. I do want to fight the stepsisters. I'm just, you know, they make me ready to fight. And I love Gus Gus. He's probably my favorite character because we're a lot alike. I like a snack. Also, Disney released, sorry about Empress Tippy Tappies. She's hanging out with me, per usual. Walt Disney released Treasure Island. I'm not going to lie to you. When I first saw this, my brain was like, what? That came out when I was a kid. Yeah, Haley, not Treasure Planet. Although, yeah, you know what? Hang on, I'll be right back. So somehow, some way, because I said Treasure Island, and I didn't know what that was. I've never seen that movie. And then my brain went Treasure Planet. Did you guys see my morph hat? I have a morph hat, you guys. Have I already gotten it dirty? Yes. It happens, okay? He's so cute. This is why I stay out of box lunch. I'll drop money, no problem, on stuff that I don't necessarily need. But hats are kind of like my go-to when I'm in the park because I don't like for my scalp to get sunburnt. And doing what I do for a living, I don't want to be sunburnt ever again in my life. So, wear your sunscreen, friends. I'm an advocate for that. Treasure Island. Young Jim Hawkins, possessor of a map to buried treasure, and his friends Squire Trelawney, I think I said that right, and Dr. Livesey, I hope I said that right, plan to travel to Treasure Island to hunt for the treasure. It sounds like a cool pirate movie, and I bet the outfits were amazing. So, you know, I've never seen it, but it'd probably be a good watch. In 1951, and if you know anything about me, it's in my blog name, friends, Disney released Alice in Wonderland. Do I need to just go ahead and say now that this is my favorite movie from this decade of Disney movies? Hands down, the best movie ever. I love Alice in Wonderland. I didn't know if you could tell. Hi, if you're new here. My name's Haley. I love me some Alice in Wonderland. Half of my Disney stuff is that. The other half is random other, IPs that I enjoy. But yeah, welcome. That's my girl right there. Okay. Just saying. I will move on. Let me gloat a little bit more. Okay, good. All right, guys. 1952, Walt Disney's story of Robin Hood. And then it says, Story of Robin Hood and His Merry Men, the film. When King Richard the Lionhearted leaves England for the Crusades, his evil brother Prince John conspires for the throne with the Sheriff of Nottingham. When I first read the name, I thought cartoon. It's not. It's not. Photo has been inserted. It is not cartoon. It is live action, people. And I've never seen this one. But I do love the story of Robin Hood, so, you know. All right, let me find my place because I like to lose my spot. 1953. They released Peter Pan. We love Peter Pan. Peter Pan's great. I've heard is the ride in Florida longer than the one in California, but they both have absolutely insane wait times. And then the one in California doesn't have a lightning lane. Am I right on that? I think I'm right on that. But here we go. Everybody, just the nostalgia of Peter Pan. My sister was absolutely obsessed with that, I can't believe this just hit my brain. The Jeremy, is that his name? Jeremy, I'm going to put his name in here. I'm going to look him up and find him. When he played Peter Pan and we were all kids, my sister was obsessed. I haven't introduced you to her or her to you guys, so, you know, it's fine for now. Obsessed. Also in 1953, they released The Sword and the Rose, which that sounds Beauty and the Beast-esque, if I'm thinking of Disney and Swords and Stones. But it says, an adventure tale set in England during the reign of King Henry, Charles Brandon, a handsome young commoner, becomes attached to the court and falls in love with the king's sister and political pawn Mary Tudor. That sounds like a drama, if I may say so myself. And I'm sure it was one. Has anyone seen this? Please let me know. We're on like a list of things I haven't seen before. Hang on, let me get back to what it is. Okay, then they came out with, also in 1953, Living Desert. I've never heard of this. True Life Adventure Feature. It was released November 10th, 1953, fun fact. Though the desert to most people represents an area of arid desolation, it is really a place teeming with life, including extraordinary plants, desert tortoise, rattlesnakes, scorpions, kangaroo rats. Are those little cute ones? Because kangaroos are massive. And I don't want a big kangaroo rat. They're the small ones, right? Roadrunners. It's like Planet Earth. Anybody else vibe with those real hard? Because it reminds you of your childhood, because they would just like put it on in science class and you just watch birds do mating dances and it was the best thing you'd ever seen. Just me? I cannot be alone on that one. That was the best thing. Way back when. Between that and Bill Nye the Science Guy. 10 out of 10. That's how you knew science class was going to be great that day. Sorry about the squeaky chair, you guys. I'll say it a million times in every video that I post until I get a new one. And when I get a new one, you guys will be the first to know it. Because I'm just going to give you, I'm going to be dramatic. Me? Dramatic? Never. What do you mean? Anyway, in 1954, Walt Disney released Walt Disney's Rob Roy. And then it says The Highland Rogue. I've never seen this. Rob Roy, leader of the rebel Highlanders in Scotland, manages to elude the English again and again as he weds his sweetheart Helen Mary, but he inadvertently causes his mother's death when the English tried to capture her instead. I don't know. Would this make me cry? Would I be very sad? I don't know. Has anyone ever seen Rob Roy, the Highland Rogue? And is it good? Please let me know. All right, let's see. Also in 1954, they had the Vanishing Prairie, which already I'm upset about the title because it just doesn't seem like it would be a real spirit uplifter, you know? The True Life Adventure feature released on, fun fact, August 16th, 1954. Academy Award winner. Ooh. 71-minute story of the pronghorn antelope, the prairie dog, bighorn sheep, the mountain lion, buffalo, and numerous other creatures that once made the prairie their home, and how the animals survived through the seasons. Yet again, sounding real spaceship earthy, if I have to relate it back to something. But the fact that it's called Vanishing Prairie doesn't make me happy. That, you know what I mean. Vanishing. Their prairies vanishing makes me sad. Also 1954. 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. Now I know that the ride is long gone from Walt Disney World. I have seen some POVs. Quite terrifying, actually. And then Finding Nemo Submarine Voyage out in California. I will be partaking. I don't know. The thought of it makes me uncomfortable. Fun fact about me, I don't really love water. Yeah. Deep, dark water. It's not for me. Makes me uncomfortable. Could you tell? I will be partaking, but that's basically the offshot version of 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. However, the movie in 1868, an armed, you know what? Frigate, I think is how you pronounce that word. I had to ask my other half. He knew more about that. I was reading along and I was like, oh, you know what this word is. I think he said frigate. Sent to seek out a fabled destroyer of ships, is itself sunk. 3 passengers from the frigate, a harpooner, along with a professor who's an expert of the creatures of the sea and his assistant, are rescued. They discover that the monster which they search for is in reality the first man-made submarine. It sounds like a tale that I would probably just be uncomfortable with. The situations at hand, it just seems not for me. You know, not for me. 1955. Davy Crockett, King of the Wild Frontier. Is anybody else just in there like, Davy Crockett, the King of the Wild Frontier? Anyone? Now, fun fact, I've never watched any of the Davy Crockett anythings, but I know who Davy Crockett is. I know about the raccoon hat. Had one as a kid. You can thank my father for that one, or I can. Yeah, we stayed at the cabins. I was about to say forts. That's not it. The cabins at Fort Wilderness. Yes? Yeah. No, campgrounds. Campground cabins. God, my brain. I'm like, that's not it. I've never stayed at Fort Wilderness. I'd like to. It's on my like bucket list of places I want to stay. But I have stayed at the cabins at the campground. I've also camped at the campground. I don't know if I recommend it with the time frame that I was camping there. I think I was like 13 or 14. And we camped. And here's a fun fact about my family. We always went when school was out, obviously. And near my birthday. Probably one of the hardest times to be in Florida. I am a Leo, and I was born at the end of July. So it is sweltering. But yeah, we always went at that time frame. So I don't know if I recommend whilst we went to bed at like 11 p.m. to midnight, and we were back up at the butt crack of dawn because my father was not about to miss a rope drop. My father is the frickin' MVP. I still don't know if I recommend camping at that time of year. Unless you have like an RV. Just saying, maybe that would be good. You know? Alright, let's see. 1955. We're still here because I'm a yapper. It's what I do. Lady and the Tramp. This movie is so cute. It's, you know, it would have been less cute if it would have been two people, but it's two dogs. And it's two dogs from different lives, and they come together and they love each other and they kiss over spaghetti, and who doesn't love Lady and the Tramp? They also came out with in 1955, The African Lion. And this is a photography team spent 3 years in Africa studying the realm of the king of the beasts and came up with some fascinating footage of not only lions, but giraffes, rhinoceroses. Said I like that on purpose, friends. Elephants and baboons. You know where my brain's going. Right back to planet Earth. But I love a good docu of animals. The only thing I hate is like when I see lions eating a gazelle. You know? I know it's nature. It hurts my heart though. Because then I know in reality, if the gazelle gets free, then like the lions are hungry. I'm upset on all ways, all terms, all fronts, ups, downs, lefts, rights. But, you know, what are you to do? I'm soft-hearted, okay? Then, let's see. Oh, I lost my place. Hang on. Okay, sorry about that. Lost my place. Got confused. We're back at it. Also, 1955, The Littlest Outlaw. I have never seen this movie. Don't know much about it, but it's the story of a young boy, Pablito, in Mexico, who has a great love for a horse named Conquistador, owned by a general, manages to save its life only by running away with it. So he steals the horse, and they live happily ever after, is what I'm assuming. It's probably not that simple, but, you know, I like to think it is. If you've ever seen that, let me know. In 1956, they have a movie called The Secrets of Life. Now, I'm going to reload this one because I do not remember what this is. The Secrets of Life is a venture released November 6th of 1956. It's a look at nature's endless variety of species, common problem, that of reproduction and survival. So, yet again, another in my brain, you know, planet Earth. You know, here we are. I always want to say spaceship Earth, but then I'm like, Haley, we're not going on a ride. I would love to. Oh, by the way, that candle company, which is Candle Co. Speaking of spaceship Earth for just a second, because it's me, you're here, all right? They have a candle after them. I think it's called Fallen Rome or something, and it smells like where the Rome is burning scene. It smells like that. It's a wonderful candle. Would order again, actually. So just thought you should know. Then, okay, 1956, they had The Great Locomotive Chase. I haven't seen this one either. On April 22nd, 1862, a party of 22 Union spies stole a train from right under the noses of 4,000 Confederate troops near Atlanta, Georgia, and began a race that might have brought an early end to the Civil War had it succeeded. That sounds intense in itself, and I would probably watch it if given the chance. So, let me know if you've seen it. Also in 1956, let me make sure I'm correct on this. I'm really dropping the ball on this one, huh? Yes, 1956 as well. There is Davy Crockett and the River Pirates. Like I said, I've never watched anything Davy Crockett, but now it's Davy Crockett with pirates. I mean, that sounds like fun. Let me see if it has anything. It doesn't have any specifics on what this is, but I think we could all imagine what we know about Davy Crockett, King of the Wild Frontier, and pirates. And maybe I'm picturing it wrong in my head, but I like what I came up with. I like what I came up with. All right. Last one for 1956, Westward Ho, The Wagons. A wagon train composed of a number of immigrant families is making the crossing from the Missouri River to a rich farming country of the Pacific Northwest in 1844. Sounds real Oregon Trail. Sounds real like a game I heard of, but I never played. And, yeah. I mean, 'twas the time for stories like this. I feel like kids were playing like cowboys and Indians at that point, and it was very like cowboy heavy time. So all of these are kind of making sense, you know. Then in 1957, this says Walt Disney presents Johnny Tremaine. I know nothing about this. Johnny, through an injury to his hand in a silversmith shop, gains new insight into himself and those around him as he's plunged into exciting events leading up to the Boston Tea Party at the outbreak of the American Revolution. The 1950s were really history heavy. That's what I'm learning. And I don't know how much historical accuracy was put into anything. It's a movie. You know, but it seems like this whole time was a history lesson of some weird sort. I don't even know. Also in 1957, Perry, the story of Perry, the story of a little pine squirrel named Perry and her life from childhood to maturity. Well, if you know me, that sounds right up my alley. We have rehabbed 3 squirrels. Robert, because when you let a 6-year-old name a squirrel, their name ends up being Robert. Anakin. And Thor. My sister named the other 2 because after Robert, I guess I didn't get any extra chances. What was I going to do? I picked a name I knew. I didn't name it Blues from Blues Clues. My mistake. But yeah, A Little Life of a Squirrel. I'd watch it. I'd watch it. Then a movie I won't watch. Also from 1957, Old Yeller. I read the book. It killed me. Okay? A piece of me died. I don't even like watching a movie if I know something's going to happen to the dog. You know what I mean? Or any animal, really. But, like, if I know something's about to happen to the dog, like, I don't want to know. For all the people that listen to true crime like I do, anyone else, like, when they're like, oh, animal stuff, you fast forward like I do. Anyone take that moment where you're like, thanks for telling me, I'm out. So, yeah, I can't. Classic. Don't want to read those words again. That is all. That is all. Because it is upsetting. It's upsetting. Let's move on. 1958. The Light in the Forest. Never seen it. In 1764, Colonel Henry Bouquet parleys with the Delaware Indians and persuades them to give up their white captives in exchange for peace. I'm just going to go ahead and say, nope, I don't want to watch that. It was a different time. There were, I'm not going to say everything that every company has done if they've been around forever is kosher. We're going to move on after that. Let's see. There also in 1958, White Wilderness. And sorry, I keep looking down. I'm like, notes, other notes, because I'm not going to remember all of this. So I'm trying to, here I am. Sorry, I keep looking away or reading. You understand. You understand. White Wilderness. And that was True Life Adventure feature. Fun fact, released on August 8th of 1958. 72 minutes long. That's good. A dozen photographers created this film after spending nearly 3 years in the Arctic, diligently filming animals in their natural habitat. Being that cold is not for me, but I do love that other people don't mind, so I can look at, polar bears. They're terrifyingly cute. You know what I mean? That's one of those things where it's always like, if not friend, why friend shaped? I'm just saying. In 1958, they made a movie called Tonka. In the territory of the Dakotas in the 1870s, a young Indian brave white bull captures a wild stallion and decides to keep him as his own, naming him Tonka Wakin, meaning the great one. Yeah, I've never seen this either. But like I said, this very much was the time like Cowboys and Indians. So, not surprised. But I've never seen it. In 1959, Sleeping Beauty. I think everyone's pretty much seen that, or you've been to Sleeping Beauty Castle, or, you know. It's a good movie. It's my sister's favorite villain is Maleficent. Not much to comment. Sleeping Beauty. Everybody seems to know that. Also, the Shaggy Dog. I'm assuming this is the first iteration of the Shaggy Dog because there has been a few others, if I'm not mistaken, but this is the first one. Young misfit teenager Wilby Daniels accidentally discovers a magic ring in a museum, and by repeating the Latin inscription, he becomes a large and clumsy sheepdog. You know, I think Brendan Fraser really cemented where you should not be reading inscriptions on old items. You could turn yourself into a sheepdog. You could resurrect a mummy. You know, maybe just don't be doing that. But I've never seen this movie. I've never seen any iteration of this movie. I just kind of know what it, you know what I mean? You just kind of know what it is. Anyone else have movies like that where you've like never seen it, you just know what it is? And then I think, okay, we got a few more. 2 more. All right. This one, also in 1959, is called Darby O'Gill and the Little People. Does this have anything to do with the little man that lives in Disneyland? The Disneyland little man, the little man in Disneyland? What, you know what I mean? The book where the little guy, he lives in the tree. They have it all set up. I don't think so. But I've never seen this. I'm just trying to figure out in my brain if they're related. Is his name Darby O'Gill? No, I don't think so. Read the inscription here. Darby O'Gill used to spinning fairy tales instead of tending his job as caretaker of Lord Fitzpatrick's estate in South Ireland is about to be replaced by young Michael McBride of Dublin. Oh no. Fearful of his daughter Katie's reaction and unwilling to give up his own standing in the community, he attempts to act as matchmaker to Michael and Katie to ensure their future. Why you gotta be meddling? Don't be meddling. To help his plans, he captures his old friend, King Brian of the Leprechauns, who must grant Darby 3 wishes. Okay. Darby, I don't know if we're friends. Okay, because you be capturing a friend. Is he a friend? To use him for 3 wishes? Because he's a leprechaun? And you be meddling in people who they're trying to do. What? Sir, has anyone ever seen this movie? I think of, oh no, don't blink again. Don't blink again. You can do it. You can do it. The Luck of the Irish. I loved that movie. Is it on Disney Plus? Is it on Disney Plus? That was such a good movie. And now I will be looking on Disney Plus to see if it is there. The Luck of the Irish, you guys. Have you seen it? Have you seen it? Meh. Also, I don't know as I go through this list if Disney Channel original movies are going to be on this list. I think these just maybe like mainstay releases, not necessarily Disney Channel original movies. But we'll find out as we go, because either Don't Look Under the Bed, which is my favorite Disney Channel original movie, or A Can of Worms, is either on this list or, you know, as the list goes, it's either here or it's not. Xenon, Girl of the 21st Century. You know what I mean? They're here or they're not. And we're going to find out as we go. Is that one more? Last movie for 1959, Third Man on the Mountain. Conquering the past would be the climb of his life. That sounds deep. In 1865, as a young kitchen helper, Rudy Mack climbs the unconquered citadel, he rescues Captain John Winter, a famous English climber, and discovers that his father was legendary guide Joseph Matt, who, like many others, had tried to reach the top of the mountain but was killed. It's probably, or it sounds like one of those like self-empowering movies. So it's probably a good watch. I don't know. Have you seen this movie? Let me know. I realized I've got to the end of my list because it's a video of me being mean to Willow. And by that, I mean just holding her still for a second because she was biting me. So here we are. All right, friends. Now, the top grossing movie from 1950 to 1959. Cinderella. I'm not shocked by this. Cinderella is a great movie. It's not as great as Alice. Said what I said, and I am who I am. But no, Cinderella is great. She's Walt Disney's favorite princess. Sorry, Snow White. Scoot on out the way, girl. Out the way. And Alice technically isn't a princess, so I can't even be mad about that. However, I mean, I guess they kind of count her as a princess. But they also count Vanellope von Schweetz as a princess, and I don't be looking at Vanellope like she's a princess either. But you know what? We're all princesses. How about that? We're all Disney princesses. That's right. Me, you, Vanellope, and Alice. We're all Disney princesses. So, Cinderella was the highest grossing film between 1950 and 1959. How are you doing as far as your count? The last two vids. Are you like, you know, without cheating? I'm not going to lie. I went through these lists and I guessed. And I've been good so far. So, I'm 2 for 2, friends. 2 for 2. But we'll see how long that lasts. All right. Like and subscribe. Follow me on TikTok, Instagram, Pinterest, Facebook. Check out the blog. Let me know if there's anything you need from me, want to see from me. Cannot wait to bring you some more content, some more Disneyland content, and get my booty over to Disney World because I miss that place, and I'm ready to go hang out with the mouse. So, I will see you guys in the next one. Hope you have a wonderful day. Bye, guys.